everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video we're going to focus on how to get more one-shot kills with each of the Marksman rifles and the sniper rifles, and I'll also be giving you best class setups along with timestamps and explaining which weapons you should be using stopping power with, because in a lot of scenarios it could be a complete waste. So we're going to go ahead and walk through all of that stuff. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, let me know by hitting the like button. And a quick reminder, if you're brand new to the channel or you're part of the 85.5% that haven't yet subscribed but continue to watch my videos on a regular basis, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on, so you'll be able to find your way back to the channel for more Modern Warfare content. So we're going to start off with Marksman Rifles, and we're going to be starting off with the EBR. And the best class setup for the EBR, in my opinion, is actually going to be that Forged Tac Elite, the FSS Raider Chassis Elite, the 20 round mag, the GI Mini Reflex, and the monolithic suppressor. So the EBR is probably one of the easiest of all the bunch to use because it has a relatively fast fire rate. And the reason that's important because it's very forgiving. Obviously, if you miss a shot, you're able to follow it up with a successive shot. If you need to land 2 shots, which you inevitably need to do with this weapon unless you land a headshot, you will be able to land up those follow-up shots. Whereas a lot of the other weapons we're going to see in this, they're very unforgiving. And what I really liked about this specific one is it reminded me a lot of the M1 Garand that we've had in previous Call of Duties, where it was typically a 2-tap to kill. So as far as damage goes, if you hit them in the legs, it's going to do 55 damage. If you hit them anywhere in the torso or in the stomach or in the waist or whatever the case is, it's going to end up doing 60 damage. So it's pretty much always going to be a 2-shot to kill unless you're hitting the headshot, which does well over 100. The exception to this is if you do upper chest damage after using stopping power rounds, you will be able to get a 1-shot kill. So not much else to say about this particular Marksman rifle. We'll go ahead and jump into the next one on the list, and that is going to be the Mk2 Carbine, aka the Mk2 Carbine. We're going to go ahead and break down how this specific weapon works. So my best class setup for the Mk2 Carbine is the FSS Mark II Sport Comb, the stipple grip tape, the GI Mini Reflex, the FSS 24-inch factory barrel, as well as the monolithic suppressor. One thing I didn't mention about the monolithic suppressor, why you're going to see it on a lot of my class setups, is because it allows you to stay off the compass. You combine this with Ghost, it'll also allow you to stay off the mini-map anytime a UAV is in the air. So pretty much you're not going to be spotted. You're going to be able to post up in the right location, position yourself wisely, and be able to take out multiple people without giving away your position, which once you start paying attention to actually having Ghost and a monolithic suppressor, you realize how important that combination is. So I already kind of did a full video on the Mk2 Carbine, and what you really end up finding out is within about 15 to 25 meters, you are able to get 1-shot kills to the chest and the head, and it's specifically the upper chest. Anything beyond that, you will not be able to get a 1-shot kill unless you hit them in the head. The exception to this is obviously once you start running the stopping power, you can get a chest shot 1-shot kill at any distance. No matter how far they are away, you have those stopping power rounds in, which unfortunately you can't get extended mags of any kind on this weapon. So you're going to be limited to 6 shots. So you're going to have to make them count. You will get 1-shot kills. So it'll kind of increase that overall area. Because if you're specifically trying to only aim for the head, it'll be a little bit trickier. But if you're aiming for upper torso, shoulders, and the head, you've essentially doubled or tripled the area that you're actually able to hit and get a 1-shot kill. So as far as some recommendations on using this specific weapon, I would try to focus on a little bit of the closer engagements. Obviously not point blank like a shotgun, even though you can get into those, hit those shots. But obviously if you miss, somebody comes around the corner with an MP5, they can hit you with 2 bullets before you're going to be able to follow up and hit the second shot. So it's just something you got to be aware of. You want a little bit closer distances so you can kind of guarantee you're going to get that 1-shot kill versus actually stretching out a little bit further where you're going to have to hit the head or have the stopping power rounds available. So that's going to transition us into the third Marksman rifle on this list, and that is going to be the Kar98K. And this one, actually, I didn't really like it that much to begin with, but once I kind of started breaking down what you needed to do to actually make this weapon effective, I was able to change up my play style. Everything got a little bit easier and I was able to go on a little bit longer streak. So the best class setup for the Kar98K is the GI Mini Reflex, the F-Tac Sport Comb, the Tac Laser, the stipple grip tape, and the monolithic suppressor. Obviously for the 3 Marksman rifles, I ended up using the GI Mini Reflex. You can pretty much use whatever optic you want, but the main reason I go with the GI Mini Reflex is because a lot of the engagements, the furthest I'm going to get into engagement is kind of medium medium to long range and not super long range. And that kind of forces me to play a certain way, because obviously if I was using a sniper scope, I would probably challenge a little bit further engagements, and more often than not I'd probably get hit markers, because at a certain distance the only thing that's going to get a kill is if you land a headshot or land upper chest shots, and coincidentally also have stopping power rounds. And even as I'm saying that out loud, that's a lot of variables that you got to line up to make sure you can get those one-shot kills, because inevitably if someone's using a sniper rifle at that distance, they're going to be able to kill you, because the sniper rifles are a lot more forgiving on their one-shot kill area. So in terms of raw damage output, the Kar98K is way more powerful than the other two marksman rifles that we talked about in today's video. And right about 47.5 meters is where the drop-off is, where you cannot get a one-shot kill to the upper chest unless you have stopping power. So all the way up to 47.5 meters without any special attachments that are going to increase range or whatever the case is, you can get a one-shot kill. So this one is probably the most forgiving as far as being able to hit somebody at range. But it comes with a huge penalty, which is if you miss a shot or get a hit marker, odds are you're going to die. And the same goes for if you're coming around a corner and you end up running up against two people. If you manage to hit the first guy and the other guy is looking at you, odds are before you're going to be able to even fire that second shot, the second guy is going to take you out. So you have to play a little more passive and choose your rushes the right way and how you're navigating around the map, because that little delay between shots is very unforgiving, unlike the Mk2 Carbine and obviously like the EBR. So in terms of ranking the three different marksman rifles, is pretty hard. I really had a lot of fun with the EBR just because it's so easy to use compared to the other two, but it's very satisfying getting those one-shot kills in succession, especially if you land upper chest and headshots consistently. You're going to really love the Mk2 Carbine as well as the Kar98K. Let me know down in the comments section which is your favorite of the three marksman rifles. As we jump into the sniper rifles, the first one we'll be taking a look at is the Dragonov. The best class setup for the Dragonov is going to be the 510mm compact barrel, the FTAC Stalker Scout, the monolithic suppressor, the TAC laser, and the 20-round mag. One quick alternative to the class setup is to drop the extended mags and put on focus so you have a little bit more flinch reduction. So one of the interesting things with sniper rifles is they actually have more damage profiles than we see with a lot of the other weapons. What I mean by that is normally you kind of have the base damage and then you have upper chest and then head. But a lot of the snipers, what you're going to notice is they actually have a different stomach multiplier. They probably have other ones as well, but we're going to keep it pretty simple because the one-shot kills are what we're really trying to focus on. And some of the weapons, if you manage to hit them in the stomach, the chest, or the head, you're going to get a damage multiplier enough to kill them in one shot. And sometimes it's going to require stopping power. So we're going to go through each of them pretty quickly. So it looks like for the Dragonov, the base damage is 63, and then there's like a 10% multiplier for the stomach, so it ends up doing 70 damage. And if you manage to hit him in the upper chest, it'll be a one-shot kill. Same thing with the headshot, as we would imagine with the sniper rifle. Where this becomes particularly important is with stopping power. If you manage to hit them in the stomach, it will also be a one-shot kill, which is pretty crazy because then that makes it so that a majority of your target will be a one-shot kill. So stopping power is almost a non-negotiable when it comes to the Dragonov. Whether you're leveling it or whatever the case is, this will allow you to get more one-shot kills with a rate of fire that is pretty high. So overall, I recommend stopping power heavily on the Dragonov. That's going to bring us to the next two sniper rifles, which are the HDR and the AX50, which are almost identical as far as damage profile goes, and they're pretty much unaffected by stopping power. So what we'll do is look at the best class up for each, and I'll let you know pretty much where you need to shoot them so you can get those one-shot kills. So for the HDR, I like to run focus, the TAC laser, the 7-round mags, the FTAC Stalker Scout, and the monolithic suppressor using the standard optic. So as far as damage, you're going to do 91 damage to the legs. As far as the stomach goes, you're going to do 102, so you can get a one-shot kill to the stomach. As far as torso goes, it's over 100, so it's a one-shot kill. Then obviously a headshot. It actually does over 200 damage, so it's definitely a one-shot kill. So last but not least, that's going to bring us to the HDR twin, which is the AX50. And the best class setup in my opinion is the 7-round mags, the Singard Arms Assassin focus, the 17-inch factory barrel, as well as the monolithic suppressor. And like I mentioned, this pretty much has the exact same damage profile. It does 91 to the legs, 102 to the stomach, 114 to the upper chest, and then over 200 to the head. So that covers all the different sniper rifles in the game. Let me know down in the comments section which of the three is your favorite, and then overall, what is your favorite marksman rifle, sniper rifle in the entire game. So hopefully you kind of have a better idea on what it takes to get a one-shot kill with these individual weapons, and whether you need stopping power to accomplish that task. Quick reminder, if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by hitting that like button, and if you're brand new to the channel or you're part of that 85.5% that haven't yet subscribed, if you made it to this point of the video, go ahead and make sure you hit that red subscribe button, turning it to gray with notifications on by ringing that bell. Do appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.